enough bad, shitty, terrible news from enough bad news from the pre-show. Let's get the actual pre-show over.
Hey,
I
yeah, let's
wish
get
Taylor
started.
was here. Andy, I don't want to assume you're number one for top three, but can I assume that it had mutants involved?
Yes.
Okay, because I've known Taylor for like over a decade. I know his number one book, so we may do top three a little bit different this week and spend a whole lot of time talking about just one book. Okay,
Yeah,
we'll burn that bridge when we get there because
my number,
holy crap.
a little spoiler, my number one's about the greatest relationship in comic books right now, bar none.
Oh, I'm trying to. Oh,
Yeah,
wait. Uh,
they're friends. They're
wait.
best friends.
Uh, wait. Oh, are you talking about when they danced out of the? I don't know. We'll
Yeah,
see. Okay, we'll see. As long as it's the
great
mutant
book.
massacre, we'll be good. We're no more hiding it. We have to know for sure. We'll do some quick hits with the news. I don't really have much news. Comic-Con was kind of like a blah, it's just everything
Oh,
at once. But Secret Invasion episode 6, we'll talk about in depth probably. We'll probably have some time because, like I said, I'm cutting half of the damn comic book review segment. But a couple of doses of food news. Thank you, Andy, for throwing me one. I had that already, but thank you for
I
pushing
almost,
that my way.
as a gag, I almost put my name as Subway today.
Right. I mean, it's what a good idea. Have you ever seen the show Community?
I've seen bits and
We'll
pieces,
get
but
to it. We'll get to it in that segment because it does tie in. We do have a moment of destruction with some cover reveals,
yep,
and
we're
then top
getting
three. I didn't even organize my
uh,
number three and number two because I knew
image kind of
exactly what we were going to talk
spoiled
about.
the pot there a little bit, didn't they?
What?
Didn't Image release a new their new cover for Transformers, or is this
No, the
something?
cover for Transformers number one was revealed like at Comic Con or just before that
Hmm.
because they did an ash can version of the Transformers number one at Comic Con. It's going for like $80 in the reseller
Oh yeah,
market, which is ridiculous. I'm sorry, but they did release some covers for the other two books that they're putting out. So that's it. Nothing else to talk about. Taylor he's going to be right on time if he shows up at all. But either way, we're
he's a
having a show.
wizard.
He's a wizard. He gets to show up when he wants. So,
Yeah.
yeah, if we're not, yeah, man, I have so many images for that one book. So, all right, let's do the damn thing. I'm sure Taylor will hop in here any minute.
Mm-hmm.
Always on time.
No.
I agree. I don't know why you're here. Cheers. Hope everyone had a great weekend. It was hot. Oh my gosh, it was so hot. Andy, this motherfucker in Minnesota, he's like, yeah, man, it hit like 89. And I'm like,
Actually, I was on
greetings, welcome back. Another episode of This Week in Comics Outright Geekery's comic book shit talk show.
Shit Talk Show.
Well, I think that's your first shit talk show. Just that process of elimination because Taylor's running late. But how hot was it?
It was with the humidity in its hundreds. We actually
With
some
the
of the
humidity.
some of the plant actually shut down.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
wow! I hope they still get paid.
No.
Man, probably not. That sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks. Just like when you go to school, no education for you.
That's why.
But yeah, I
that's why
think
up here
Taylor will be here eventually. Maybe he
That's why up
forgot.
here, I'm not sure if any you do it where you guys are at, but up here in Minnesota, they actually
Yeah.
like schedule days at the end of the year to actually keep, to revamp, like, because they like this is how much education you need in a year, right? That's how many days
Right.
that they have scheduled. It's like, and you can miss like three,
Like a snow day.
like 5 of them. But if
Yeah.
you miss more than 5, they add an extra day of school at the end of the year.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
cool. That's cool.
I'm not sure what other states do, but we do that here in Minnesota.
Yeah, now they have done that in Tennessee, but every time it's ever been talked about happening, there's been pushback, and then the district just never did it. But anyway, segment one, what'd you do this week? I watched Twisted Metal, just a couple episodes. I think the bullies are gonna.
Joe.
Yeah, right. I think Leroy and Eli over at the Comic Book Bullies. Check this channel and OutrightGeekery.com for links to what they got going on. I think they're going to go in depth on this from what I've heard. But It's based on the video game. Anthony Mackie's in it. Stephanie Beatriz is in it. I know her best from In the Heights. She's fucking amazing in the Heights. But I'm a huge fan of musicals, and especially that one. But she's also in was it Brooklyn Nine-Nine or whatever?
Yep.
That comedy. I'm really not into that show, but I think the best takeaway for me in just the first 2 episodes is, holy shit, Will Arnett doing the voice of Sweet Tooth. Do you know who's playing Sweet Tooth?
Sweet Tooth is played by Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe, wrestling
Yep.
extraordinaire. There's Taylor. Hey, man. What's up,
current
bro?
ROH television champion Samoa
Oh,
Joe.
here we go. Oh, yes. As announced, big surprise on the Weekender that Andy had celebrating his 1 year as the moderator of the Outright Geekery Facebook group. Yeah, he's going to start doing wrestling streams, which is dope. That's awesome. I am not a big fan of wrestling, but I used to be. Maybe I could get it again. But Twisted Metal.
Other people
first...
who hang out here that typically are big wrestling fans, like Jules and Adam had one going for a while.
Yeah, they did have one going for a while. Jules is just so damn busy, and Adam, I don't even get started about how busy that dude is. They're just trying to keep head above water, man, and it sucks. But first 2 episodes in, it's a resounding okay. It's not trying to take itself too seriously. It's fun. It's very derivative from just a lot of stuff, but it's exactly what you'd expect from a television show based on a video game where it's like Crash Up Derby with tanks that aren't really tanks. It's like Mad Max comedy tanks. I don't know.
I mean,
when
the video games are just hilarious in itself, and they don't take themselves too seriously. I mean, you got a murderous clown who was literally put in an electric chair and survived it. Oh, I gotta take a call.
Awesome. Taylor, what did you do this week?
Not too much, I'm afraid. I did go see Oppenheimer.
Oh, there you go. I had that saved. Great.
I thought it was pretty good.
Okay, there you go. A resounding meh plus.
No, it's more than meh. It was a good movie. It's one of those movies where, like, I can understand. I think he said Leroy said he felt it was a little dry. It was pretty dry, but
he used the word boring as hell. Oh, that's a term.
Well, he's wrong about that. He is entirely wrong. Never mind. I was giving him too much credit. But
hey, Jeff, thanks for coming by, man.
Hey,
Love that you stopped by. We appreciate it.
But no, I thought the movie had great acting. I thought the way that they kind of jump between time periods, the way they kind of constructed the narrative was pretty good. Yeah. It asks a lot of very interesting questions. Maybe I like it a lot because I do teach history when I'm not here talking about this stupid bullshit with you.
He's educating. Imagine that. Taylor the
educator.
The youth of America.
Yeah. You're welcome. But no, for real, though.
Thank you.
But no, it was... It asked a lot of very interesting questions. You know, there's a lot of moral quagmires that we're still dealing with. It was really more about the Cold War than it was about World War II itself.
Oh,
but
okay. I love the Cold War. That's my bet.
Well, yeah, a lot of the shit that we get into here has to do with, like, you know, Red Scare and whatnot. Yeah, but there was a lot more nudity than I was expecting, because I was expecting none, and there was an awful lot of it, actually.
Oh, they really went off on Black Widow doing her thing. Florence Pugh.
Well, I guess White Widow would be more the accurate thing to say.
Is it Pug or Pug?
Pug, I think.
Pug, I think. I actually read an article where they CGI'd a dress on her in some markets because they're not as, you know, liberal as the United States. What did I just say? I'm sorry. Anyway,
I mean, that is true. I mean,
it is.
It's weird as it is to think about. The United States is not as uptight as other places are.
Right? Nuts. So cool. Oppenheimer. No Barbie yet, though. No Barbie.
I'm probably not going to go see Barbie. It just I don't think I'm the target demo for it.
I think it already making $700 million shows that it's everybody's fucking movie. I'm actually thinking about going to see it in the drive-in.
Or it shows that it's serving a demographic that has not been getting a lot of love.
That's true.
Which I'm not part of.
And they're going to see it multiple times.
Yeah.
Andy, anything fun you do this week that worth mentioning?
You know, the wife went to go watch the Barbie movie. She liked it.
Awesome.
Barbie. We're working around the schedule of trying to sell the house. So, you know.
Yeah, this dude doing all kinds of stuff in his personal life. Got so much going on. I'm glad you made it, dude. But I'm like, wow, should you have really made it? Don't you have like a lot of anyway? You're being very irresponsible by being here. I respect that. I would be the same way, but still. All right, let's do news because we got to talk top 3. Taylor missed the pre-show. We're gonna have to talk top 3 before the top 3. For a full-on top 3. Anyway, getting to the news really quick. We're gonna fly through this so we can do Secret Invasion. Holy shit, we got a lot to dive into there. Just really quick. Funko announced another 180 employees as the downfall continues there. I know we keep jumping on Funko. I'm sorry. It's like Beanie Babies. Everybody's a fan of something. This powerhouse of a toy company showed no signs of slowing down just 5 years ago. And it looks like the party is really close to being over.
I mean,
well, they're really kind of running out of ideas at this point.
Well, yeah, from an outsider's perspective.
People make new content, though.
But that's the thing. Like, from an outsider perspective, it doesn't seem like a sustainable business model when you're making like figurines of like some ancillary character on a CW show. You know,
Oppenheimer pops.
Sure, I mean, they're like, you want to make one for Spider-Man? Rad. You want to make like 5 of them for Spider-Man? That's cool. I'm sure you can manage that. But if you're making like, if you're making an Oppenheimer bobblehead, who the fuck is going to buy that?
Right.
They just spread themselves way too thin, making so many of these people that like at such a niche customer base, you know?
Now, I actually have several like of the real people ones. Like I got a Bill Nye, I got a Benjamin Franklin. You know, I could see them doing an Oppenheimer one and me wanting that, but not like the Cillian Murphy version of Oppenheimer. I want the actual dude. And then I want an Einstein one, and you know what I mean? That I would collect.
There was
you're in a minority there, you know. Not too many people are going to be picking up that sort of thing.
That's what Funko was supposed to do.
And that's not sustainable. That business model, at its very core, it cannot be worth making these when so few people want to buy it.
I mean, you're not wrong, dude. I think there is demand for everything that they make, but the demand is so damn low.
Basic economics, you know, it's supply and demand.
Exactly,
they are making It's not worth making something just because some people will buy it. If it costs too much to make it, you know, and I think it probably does here. You know,
when
they got to get licensing for most of these things.
When they were smaller, when they didn't scale as big as they did now, it might have been sustainable. You know. But yeah, you're right, dude. Now they bought Mondo and tore it apart. How long before Funko is bought up by Hasbro or Mattel or, you know, one of these other companies, and they're just like, we'll just use.
If they could just be if they could just be like a subsidiary of like a larger company, that would probably be pretty sustainable. So I don't know if that's the worst thing in the world.
They ruined their market value. They should have sold 5 years ago. Andy Funko, I buy Funko all the time. I've got some on pre-order now for What We Do in the Shadows. My wife loves that show. I'm buying them for her.
I don't buy any Funko stuff.
You know, there you go. See.
I haven't bought a Bunko thing in years, but I do have several comic book characters. Like I have Doctor Doom, I have Vision, I have Ms. Marvel, and I got a few from my sister over the years. She likes them, but
we were doing like every Christmas we would buy everybody like a Funko Pop. You know, we started that tradition, but it might have to be done, dude, because there's just not enough shit. Anyway, we spent way too long on Funko. Last thing about Funko, the Teamsters and UPS reached terms, so no comic book delays. And the drivers got most of the shit they were wanting, so awesome. DC has announced a new animated Watchmen movie. We don't have any information on this at all. That is just one coming.
That could be cool, you know.
I'm excited for it. If they use a good animation style, DC and Warner Brothers, it's great at doing animation, dude.
Yes,
it's been way past due for them to give proper due to the greatest fucking comic book ever written, and do it justice. You know, no.
Yeah, the TV show that they made on HBO that really blew me away. I was expecting garbage, and that was really damn good.
This is my favorite season of TV ever. I watch it like all the time, and I still like pick out little shit. I love it.
Yeah, but. The Snyder movie wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen, but it was not particularly good. It wasn't particularly good adaptation. Yeah.
Rorschach is not a hero. There are no heroes in Watchmen. That's the thing.
Well, I've seen, now that we've had like, you know, over a decade to like, you know, navel gaze about it, Zack Snyder is kind of like like a Randian apologist, and so him making Rorschach a hero isn't that surprising.
Yeah, and then I mean, people say they like Dr. Manhattan being the enemy instead of the giant squid.
Give me the squid. And that's actually the first thing I was going to mention when I heard that they were doing an animated movie. My first thought was, they could probably do the squid.
Oh, they're definitely doing the squid. They're definitely doing the squid. Andy, thoughts on Watchmen and a Watchmen movie animated?
Yeah, give it to me. I like the Watchmen. I mean, I like the movie. So,
have you ever read Watchmen, the comic?
I've read the comic book. Yes, I have.
I mean, to me, it's the quintessential comic book. Like, you don't give it to somebody who's just now reading comics, but once somebody who picks up comics feels like they're ready to actually know what comics are, I think you give them Watchmen.
Yeah,
Watchmen it's on the pantheon for sure. It's top 5. A lot of people's like
Sandman.
There's a strong case for the best ever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sandman's on the pantheon. Mouse is on the pantheon.
Oh, Mouse for sure. How did I not think of Mouse? I mean, Marvel.
My favorite ever is probably a Day Tripper, but that's
dude,
not as. I wouldn't necessarily argue that being.
It's kind of a deep cut.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to have the Mount Rushmore of comic books, but if there was one, Watchmen would be on it without even a problem.
For sure. Jeff in the chat said Watchmen the comic is a must read. It is.
I would definitely agree. And I also agree with Gomer that it's a good one to come to after you're already kind of in the scene, because part of what it does really well is deconstruct superheroes and a lot of their tropes. Yeah, and it also...
It not only deconstructs heroes, but it deconstructs fans of comic book heroes, and it deconstructs comics as a whole.
Yeah, as a visual medium, it perfectly utilizes a lot of things that you could not do in another medium. Like,
perfect.
Okay, spoiler for like a 40-year-old comic book, I guess. But towards the end, when like Ozymandias is like explaining his plan, there's clocks in his hideout and in New York City that lets you know before the big reveal that these are not happening at the same time.
Yes,
that's something that you could only play with. That's a subtlety that you can only play with in comic books, because like in a book they'd have to just straight up tell you, and that would ruin it. Yeah. And in a movie, they could maybe kind of pull it off. It would be hard to have it be quote unquote fair, because you wouldn't be able to like draw focus on it without giving it away. And if it's just somewhere in the background, that's, whatever.
100, dude. The way the 9-panel pages only break that 9-panel rule in specific instances, the way Rorschach's word balloons change, the background color on a lot of the panels to express emotion. I mean, let's not spend too much time on Watchmen, because I could spend always on Watchmen.
Well, we could spend hours on Watchmen.
No more.
Well, we could go off by saying that, like, I think it'll adapt to an animated movie better than it did to live action.
I enjoyed the live action, but the animated would be really well.
It was fine.
I won't skip the Radiant Black shit. We don't talk about the Massiverse enough. Radiant Black had 2 variant covers. Here they are for its latest issue number 25. But depending on which cover you bought in stores, it had a variant ending. Now, this is really intriguing. This really blew me away. These are the 2 endings. Now, there's 2 guys, right, who are vying, competing, talking, discussing, being the character Radiant Black, okay? And in one of them, one of the guys chooses, and in the other one, another guy chooses. And people are like, oh, what the hell? Well, the writer of this, Higgins, what's his name? Kyle Higgins, explained the secret of the Catalyst War, which is like the big thing going on in the Massiverse, is that it is actually an event told across different timelines. So we're actually seeing 2 different timelines here, and this is like a split of those timelines. And it's like, wow, that is really compelling, intriguing storytelling style. You know what I'm saying? That is like a really cool way.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah, just us coming off of the way we were talking about how Watchmen did something unique in the medium. I don't think you could do this on... I mean, maybe if you Netflix stream, Netflix is like, nah, there's actually 2 different versions, I
also love the way that the panels mirror each other and everything.
Yeah, dude, very well done. I always like to give credit where credit is due. Massiverse is doing... I mean, I gotta, eat crow. I was like, man, this is stupid. A superhero universe outside of what we've already got, this is never going to work. But yeah, it's working, and it's working quite well. They're doing a lot of awesome shit here. All right, that's it. It's Secret Invasion, and then we're moving on to everything else. Dude, this episode was fucked up. All right. Hold on, we got somebody in the comments. Jeff saying his local comic shop gave subscribers rating in black cover A and then cover B was free. Oh wow, that's cool. That's very nice.
That's really nice.
Yeah, dude, damn.
Get the full one. That's kind of nice of them.
All right, they did the old switcheroo where Guy was pretending to be Fury and got over on Gravik. They used the Harvester, which was all of these DNAs that the Skrulls could put into like a machine, and then they got all the powers of these characters. But surprise, it wasn't Nick Fury. It was Gaia. Nick Fury was actually saving the president and shooting Skrull Rhodey. We'll get to him in a minute. But we'll get into the specifics of things, or the details of things. But overall, this was dope. This was fun.
It was a cool fight.
The fight was great.
It maybe opens a whole can of worms for the future. Like, what problem is going to come along where Gaia cannot single-handedly solve the situation?
Unless there's situations going on at two places at once. But yes, I 100% agree with you.
They have a way out there. They could just say that, like,
do you want to hear the list?
Go for it.
Ghost, Captain America, Corvus Glaive, Thanos, Outrider, Proxima Midnight, Captain Marvel, Abomination, Mantis, Cull Obsidian, Black Panther, Drax, Korg, Ebony Maw, Frost Beast, Hulk, Chitauri, they're assholes, but Valkyrie, Thor, Gamora, Flora Colossus, and Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Yes, Flora Colossus' group. I don't know why they called them that.
Why would you even bother throwing in Winter Soldier when you already have like 50 people who are stronger than him?
I know.
Maybe his tactical expertise or something.
I don't know. Does that come?
That wouldn't be in his DNA.
That's like a learned thing.
It's comic books. They could do that.
They could.
Whatever.
I can make my arm metal, dude. That's not your DNA either. But that is a lot of power. Okay.
It made for a really cool fight scene. Big finale here was it was a fun dust up. This is the type of thing that you're gonna throw up on YouTube and have a good time watching.
Yeah. If I can say though, Leroy was right. This is the exact ending of the MCU thing that the last episode of She-Hulk was talking about. I mean, that's okay. Yeah. I'm not taking anything away from it because I had a good time with it. It does bring up the question, man, are the Skrulls even going to be in the Marvels? It doesn't look like it. I don't know why they'd get more screen time, but Fury,
I'd assume not.
Fury is definitely getting some Skrull business going.
Oh yeah.
Now, that is something I will say that I thought that the romantic subplot between Fury and Vara here was probably the best done part of the show.
Oh, dude, it was really fun.
I liked their dialogue that they had with each other. It was a lot of well-written scenes, a lot of well-acted scenes, and it was a good payoff here at the end.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. I think the last question we have to ask is, how long has Rhodey been a Skrull? They did allude to it, as you can see, in Secret Invasion, when he's pulled out of his hypnotic prison or whatever, alien juicy prison that the Skrulls had him in. He's wearing this, a hospital gown, and he can't walk. All right.
They were really drawing a lot of attention to his legs being inoperative.
Thank you.
That does kind of give the impression that that's the thing that we're really supposed to link it to, was what happened in Captain America Civil War.
Yeah, sometime after Captain America Civil War, but when?
I didn't notice the same outfit there. That definitely helps add fuel to that particular fire.
So, Rhodey going to need a rewatch of the MCU. He better get a Disney Plus subscription because he's got to catch up on a whole bunch of shit. Okay. Yeah. But again, none of this is confirmed. As Marvel has done, as they will continue to do, they can change, retcon shit, and make something up. He could have just said, "Oh no, it was after whatever, and I was just at a hospital appointment or whatever." You know what I mean? They can change.
I mean, yeah, they could. It could be whatever they want it to be.
But we're getting Armor Wars.
That's true. That if they don't talk about it there, that would be strange. So we can definitely expect them to go more into it there.
Yeah. So I mean, here's my thing. If I'm thinking about how this would go in actuality, okay, the President of the United States, who at the end of this becomes a weird villain, where he
it turns out he's just this vile piece of shit.
He's a vile piece of shit. Who, I mean, it's understandable in a way. He was all. He feels like a sucker. He feels like a loser.
you can definitely tell why he's mad, but he did not rise to the moment. He let his spite.
It was a populist sort of thing, dude.
Yeah, that's true. But
I know
he was not a leader when the world needed him to be one.
Ooh, yes, so right. I think again, what you just said, he wasn't a leader when he needs to be. Is going to lean into Armor Wars.
Yeah.
Where's the armors? Where are all Tony's armors? Where is all that technology? I think Rhodey is going to be put out by the government. He'll still have an armor, somewhere, and he'll have to become someone who, I don't know. My guess is the governments of the world are going to be worried about a scroll problem that does not exist because of the characters that we saw in Secret Invasion helping out and doing. Gaia, what's her name? The British, I can never remember her name, Taylor.
I can't remember her name. I just keep calling her Olivia Colman because that's
Olivia Colman. Olivia Colman. I think they are going to be taking care of the scrolls on Earth.
Yeah.
And so there's not going to be a problem, but Rhodey's going to be like to the president, Mr. President, my armors are everywhere. And yeah, I don't know. Jeff in the chat, they have said more reveals in Armor Wars. Yeah, about Rhodey's origin, and not really origin. Just where he been. Where you been the past, 5 years, dude? He missed Tony getting killed, the blip, Vision dying. He missed what?
He missed the snapping.
He missed the blip. He missed all of it. He doesn't know that there's aliens hanging out at all, except for the fact that he got kidnapped by some.
Wait, aliens exist? Whoa!
They can use that line. Oh, there's an Ant-Man and a Spider-Man again, which I thought was a wonderful line. But anyway, yeah, Secret Invasion. We'll talk again about Secret Invasion next week once Dave does his watch through.
Yeah. Although I will say,
but yeah, overall, middle of the road MCU, but I still had a good time.
I still enjoyed it. It still was a good watch, but it is probably like mid-tier overall, like MCU. It's probably one of the lower tier of the shows that they've done so far.
Oh, the shows. Oh yeah, dude.
The top tier for me for that is Loki, Moon Knight, and WandaVision.
WandaVision.
So this doesn't come close to touching those.
I even like Captain America a lot, or whatever that was.
I like that one. I like Falcon and Winter Soldier. It was fun.
Yeah, dude, it was.
Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Which I will say though that I think that this could have been a bit longer. I think some things for Secret Invasion could have used some more room to breathe.
See, yeah, I understand what you're saying, but I think you could have also taken another approach where you just make it a movie.
Maybe.
And just get it out of the way and be done with it. It felt like 6 weeks was just a slog, dude. I just like, oh my gosh, I got to wait another week to.
Yeah. But from this last episode, there's, I think, a lot of things you could nitpick. Like, why are they even having a standoff with Rhodey? Just shoot him the second you see him, and he'll be revealed as a Skrull.
I know. I think.
Why even have the whole, like, President, you have to trust me? Fuck that. Shoot him. And it's all over,
Fury did have the upper hand there the whole time. He's always the spy.
It was maybe 2-on-1.
Maybe he was hoping to get, like, a prisoner. Maybe he was hoping to show something to the president. I don't know. But you're right. He could have just popped, hi, I'm Nick Fury. Call off the missiles, dude, or everybody dead.
If you're listening back, that's my daughter in the background. She's watching Bluey.
She's great. She agrees with Nick Fury, with my Nick Fury.
No, she's watching Bluey and having a good time.
That's good.
All right, awesome. Let's do Andy. Anything else on Secret Invasion?
No, not really. I did like the Spycraft version of it. I mean, I agree with Taylor. It could use another episode, maybe 2 more episodes. It seemed a little short.
It was, but
I mean, and I did like the whole entire thing at the very end where it's just like Rhodey, it's like he's popping out. It's like, wait a minute, how long have I been here? It's like, well, how long have you been here, Rhodey?
Yeah.
Oh,
Bilbo Baggins is alive too. So
yeah.
Yeah, he's good to go too.
Presumably, he's just been there since like the end of Wakanda Forever.
I mean, nobody's talking about. Oh, there she is. Nobody's talking about how long. What's his name's been gone. So.
But yeah.
But it may not matter.
So moving forward, though, I feel like they probably are going to want to put some sort of big old asterisk on Gaia's power set. Like maybe it'll kill her if she uses it too much or some shit. I don't know.
Oh, dude, that's actually a good way to fill in the blanks there. But I mean, and we haven't really seen her go up against anyone else except the person who has literally the same powers as she does.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Unless it's like the very, very diet version of all of their powers.
That's what I'm thinking. Yes,
maybe that could be another way they could do it. Yeah,
yeah. It's like dial H for hero. He got a lot of powers, but he can only use like
Yeah, they probably need to put some kind of, handcuff on the power usage.
Yeah, you got to throttle that shit back. I can't believe I brought up Dial H for Hero. Let's do food news.
Yummy.
We need a new Dial H. All right, we have some of the weirdest and possibly most disgusting shit of the year. Skittles mustard.
Ew.
Skittles is unveiling a mustard flavor to celebrate National Mustard Day on August 5th. It's a fun-sized versions. They're only going to be available like at a pop-up, or you can go online. Google French's Mustard Skittles if you want more information. It's only like in Atlanta, Washington, and New York. So, I mean, what do we got? 5 people listening right now? None of y'all are there. I just had to bring this up because it's disgusting. It's the nastiest thing I've ever heard of.
It's not as bad to me as that cheese sandwich thing from a few weeks ago, but
oh, come on! Stop bringing up the cheese sandwich. Ew.
That is the low bar for me for the foreseeable future.
That's like the ketchup popsicles we had.
The ketchup popsicles were pretty bad. The Velveeta ice cream was pretty bad.
Yeah, dude.
This is pretty bad too.
Yeah, this is pretty bad, dude. This is pretty bad. Jeff in the chat, nasty. Yeah, exactly.
Still to this day, it has to be the ultimate cheeseburger. That is the lowest of low bars to low bar. Bad one. You cannot get any lower than that.
Yeah. That
gave me a heart attack just looking at that damn thing.
This at least seems like I'd be able to get through the bag and just wash my mouth out and be done with it. The damn cheese sandwich, I'm going to be paying
you're not getting through that. That feeds a family of 5.
It's going to take me an hour to eat the damn thing, and I'm going to be suffering for the next day at least with that,
Dude, the McDonald's all cheese or whatever it was, that feeds a family of 5 easy.
I think it was Burger King. Right?
The Burger King.
It was Burger
King.
The
real cheese sandwich. Luckily, it's only available in Thailand.
Mm-hmm. It was. All right, second bit of food news, Subway. If you commit to legally changing your name to Subway, you have a chance to win free subs for life. Now, I don't know which is worse, having the first name Subway or having free Subway. Subway is nasty. Subway is gross. I don't like Subway.
There's
Jersey Mike's is better.
Yeah, there's there's a whole lot of sandwich places that I would much rather go to. Subway's not the worst as far as fast food goes, I don't think.
Fast food's just cold cut sandwiches?
I would definitely not change my name to get it though. Yeah.
No, I wouldn't either.
So if you want to do this August 1st through August 4th, okay, you have, if you're a Subway fan, that's what Subway fans and sandwich lovers can visit subwaynamechange.com, enter to win free Subway Deli Heroes for life if you commit to legally changing your name to Subway. They'll select one winner who will earn free sandwiches. There are some asterisks here, Andy. It's only 2 sandwiches a week or something like that.
It's 2 sandwiches per week for.
Oh, yeah, that's always the case. Whenever it's you get free blank for life, it's always rationed.
Yeah, because what I want to do is change my name to Subway and then feed the world. You know what I'm saying? I want everybody to get a sandwich. I'll just stay all day at Subway with a sign that says free sandwiches. Hey, Andrew, thanks for coming by, man. We appreciate it.
It's the same thing as the McDonald's Golden Arch card that gives you free McDonald's for life. It's actually when you
get one meal.
Out,
you get one value meal.
You get a meal a week.
Yeah, that's not life. I mean, technically it is, but
to be fair, I would definitely think it's a good idea to limit your McDonald's intake to maybe just once a week anyway.
Yeah.
No,
here. Was this twice a month or twice a week?
It was twice. You get 2 sandwiches a week, I think is what it was.
Okay, so hey, I mean, I wouldn't want to eat at Subway more than that anyway. So
if you get an all veggie, I mean, you can't go wrong. Eating there once a week. Twice a week, sure, get you a pepperoni sub or whatever the hell they got anymore. I haven't been to Subway in years. It's nasty. I would much rather go to a supermarket or to a local deli and have them make me a sandwich.
Yeah.
I only ever hear stuff about Subway when they're in the news for bad reasons. In Ireland, they had to legally declare that their bread is not bread because
that was only in Ireland. That was only in Ireland.
Only in Ireland, yeah.
Someone tested their tuna and found no actual fish in it.
Yeah.
And then they also got sued by someone who said their 12-inch subs are only 9 inches, and they lost. They had to redo all of their bread. Worldwide.
Yep.
I mean, that was their fucking tagline. You get your stupid $5 foot long.
Yeah. The offer, and this is actually the most interesting part, and there is one other angle here that I'll finish on, but the offer is open to legal residents of the state of all 50 states and Washington, D.C. You have to be 18 years of age or over, but you have to be over 19 in Alabama and Nebraska and 21 in Mississippi. The legal age to marry in Alabama and Mississippi is like 14. Moving on, but you can't change your name. Moving on. You ever watch Community?
Bits and pieces.
No fans of Community here? This was literally one of the storylines that they used in Community, where there was a bylaw in the rules of the community college where any business that was set up in the food court of the college had to be owned at least 51% by a student. So Subway literally bought a person, had them change their name, and they were owned by Subway. I mean, you can't make this shit up, man. You can't make this shit up. But yeah, hey, if you're gonna change your name to Subway, please let us know. We want the first interview. We would really.
Yeah, we do. I want to interview that person.
Yes, we would really appreciate it. All right, we do have a moment of destruction. Let's just get it out of the way. All right, Energon Universe, G.I. Joe, Transformers. We saw the cover release for Transformers #1. We now get a cover release for Cobra Commander #1. In January, Joshua Williamson, Andrea Milana, and Annalisa Leone. In a world where Cobra doesn't exist, one man's sinister plan to utilize Energon will send shockwaves across the globe. That's pretty cool. We also get Duke #1. It's a limited series, also by Joshua Williamson, Tom Riley, Jordi Belair, Eisner Award-winning colorist. Tells a story you've never read before, the origins of G.I. Joe and Cobra in a world grappling with the arrival of the Autobots and Decepticons. When Duke investigates the mysteries behind the Transformers, the answers will lead to the birth of forces for good and evil that the world never imagined. It is worth saying that, yes, G.I. Joe and Transformers have been together in comics before. This is the first time that any publisher has decided to create a brand new universe utilizing both of those franchises from the ground up. I love this cover here with the arc in the background. That is so great.
Which was hinted in the last movie.
Yeah, right. This one, Starscream in the background. As much as I am excited about the new Transformers comic, I know it is going to be a slow burn. Beautiful art with Danny Warren Johnson, but his ongoings do tend to be very slow burns. The miniseries from Joshua Williamson, I am expecting to be a lot better, a lot quicker, a lot, faster paced. But either way, I'm so stoked for these. Another bit of news, the last bit of news from the Moment of Destruction that came out of Comic-Con. Skybound has confirmed that they will be reprinting old Marvel and IDW Transformers and G.I. Joe comics. So those were previously out of print.
Yep. Get everybody up to speed.
Can't get them
that'll
except
be
Amazon.
Good for the collectors.
Yeah, you can't get them except Amazon. So, all right, let's go to top 3, and we're gonna have a little powwow beforehand. Let's see, because I don't think there's any reason to do a top 3.
I'll have a mystified here.
All right, I think all we need this week is top 1 in honorable mentions. I already talked to Andy. Knowing Taylor, like I've known him for like 10 plus years. I know what his #1 is. So Taylor, did your #1 this week have mutants getting massacred in it?
It did, in fact.
Let's just go through a round of honorable mentions, and then we'll talk about the Hellfire Gala.
All right.
My honorable mentions, Tenement was great. Bone Orchard Mythos. World Tree #4, amazing art, fantastic. Wolverine was fucking incredible, and Ultimate Invasion was, everything I expected it to be. So, yeah, those are my honorable mentions this week. Taylor, honorable mentions this week.
I also enjoyed Ultimate Invasion. I enjoyed Avengers. I kind of like the little shonen battle arc that they're setting up here, introducing all the quirky mini boss squad, and we've got a bunch of one-on-one matchups, so that should be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Wolverine was really rad. I enjoyed that a lot. If I had been doing a top 3, my #2 would have been the Incredible Hulk #2.
It was fantastic.
I love this horror angle that they are going with here.
The zombies and revival at church. Ooh,
yeah,
creepy.
the way that they use the the revivalist imagery for setting up the sinister machinations here. That was really well done. The dream sequences were really well drawn. This thing was awesome. I also love fucking thick mullet Hulk that they're using for this comic,
Right? Because that's what Banner's doing. Banner got his shit grown out too, all Southern.
It's a cool look, so I'm enjoying the hell out of this Hulk series.
Nice. Cool, that's it. Andy, honorable mentions, and then we'll talk about the book of the week.
Yeah, obviously. So my honorable mentions this week are definitely World Tree.
Yeah,
that was really great. The Bone Orchard with Tenement, that fucking amazing. Poison Ivy Uncovered #1 was really good.
It was good. It was solid.
I like that one. Click Click Boom #2 with the greatest relationship on the face of the planet.
Oh my gosh, dude! I didn't know where that book was going to end up going. It is going in some really fun places, dude.
That I like the relationship between Scout and the other lady. That's amazing. And then my last honorable mention is going to have to go to The Last Days of Lex Luthor. I thought it was a good read. It did have some first issue problems, but
it did. And that's hard to believe in a book starring Superman and Lex Luthor, who have been around for 80 fucking years.
It seems like one where you could definitely hit the ground running. Who doesn't fucking know who Superman and Lex Luthor are?
It was Mark Waid writing this too, man.
Yeah.
And it seemed really odd the direction he decided to go with that. I still liked it too, though. It was still great.
And also a little nod to Berserker Poetry of Madness. That was okay. It was okay.
Steve Scroce's art was great on that. His writing needed a little bit of work, but it was.
You just can tell where Keanu just went, hey, maybe we should do this.
Well, Keanu's just a creator on this. From what I read, Steve Scroce is the one writing and doing the art on it. But it was still good. It was still very solid. It was still very solid.
But those are my honorable mentions. So.
Awesome. And that leads us, everyone, because we're going to need, a few minutes to talk about this. Hellfire Gala #1, 2023. Let me give credit where credit is due. Gary Duggan, Adam Kubert, Luciano Vecchio, Matteo Lally, Russell Donovan, Javier Pina, RB Silva, Joshua Casara, Chris Anka, and Pepe Larraz. Man, I'm going to basically go page by page here. Y'all just stop me. Kamala Khan comes back. This is kind of an afterthought by the end of this issue. You know what I mean? It's like,
the afterthought.
I started reading the book. As soon as I ended this issue, I started reading it again. And I was like, oh shit, Kamala Khan come back in this issue too.
Yeah. A lot of interesting implications. They do confirm that her polymorph powers are solely from her inhuman side, and she apparently has secondary powers from her mutant side, and this is an opportunity. I'm assuming what they're going to do is just give her MCU powers.
I mean, I'm sure about... Go ahead, Andy. Go ahead. You think they're going to do that too? Just give her powers?
Yeah, they're going to give her MCU powers, yep.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's the easiest possible way to get the comics to match what's on the screen.
Yeah. If only, Professor X at one point in here is like, oh no, Kamala, we'll help you to figure out what your other power is. And it's like, oh wait, I just got a whole lot on my plate.
Yeah, let's put a pin in that for a moment.
I've been dead for the last month. Can you give me a second, please?
Yeah, Thanksgiving just happened. My plate is full. Ain't nothing happening here. One of my favorite parts of this was every year, during the Hellfire Gala, the mutants are always like, hey, we have a plan to help humanity. They're going to fix housing. Forge has an idea to grow houses.
Grow out the tree house idea and kind of incorporate it, which that sure would be nice, but they can never. It's kind of like when Reed Richards has a billion things in his lab that could definitely help humanity. They're never allowed to actually use them.
Yeah,
they always have
because it's that whole humanity has to help itself type thing.
No, it's not that. It's just that
writing it, they can't have it as part of.
They always
the Marvel
want
universe.
The Marvel universe to look close-ish to the real world, just with superheroes.
This would turn New York City
sweeping under the rug.
Yeah, this would turn New York City into the city of Candor. You know what I mean? And we can't do that. We can't have an unrecognizable character because New York is basically a character in that whole thing. Then we move on, and this actually leans in hard to that Free Comic Book Day issue where Cyclops runs off to the treehouse when an alarm is going off, and some dude, is stealing the Captain Krakoa costume. I really like them leaning into that. The main reason I like that is because the Free Comic Book Day issue didn't spoil a damn thing in this. and I was like, oh wow, it made the free. I reread the Free Comic Book Day issue because it made it even better seeing how well the writers did without leaning too hard into the story that they were telling in Hellfire Gala, but still giving you some meat on the bone to be a fun Free Comic Book Day issue, but also promotion for your biggest book of the fucking year.
Yeah.
You know?
And I know it's not the most important thing in the world, but I did really like Cyclops' costume there in like the one panel that he was wearing it.
Oh yeah, it was not bad.
Like that all black one.
Usually, at least the past couple of years, it has been a lot about the fashion. You know, this year,
there's not much time to talk about it here.
Everybody looked good, but I mean, you really should have wore your red costume because you're bleeding over everything. I liked how Hickman's God showed up. This is their very first appearance in comics. This is Hickman introducing new characters who have years and years and years of availability within the Marvel Universe and the cinematic universe eventually. So, you know, I wanted to mention that. I'm really excited to get that Gods book, you know.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that a lot. I mean, Hickman writing something is already going to get me, like, you know, in the door, but these guys seem fun. I'll look forward to seeing what he's cooking up here.
Yeah, and then the Avengers get called away.
Yeah,
something's going on in Washington, D.C., and we sort of see all of the plans, this big, long chess game that Orchis has been playing. We see them making their final moves and getting everything into place, and they make an orchestrated attack, which, again, we also saw in this Uncanny Avengers issue.
Yeah, they call away people who could have maybe done something here. You know, they call away Cyclops, who's like the field commander of the X-Men. They call away the Avengers, who are like the biggest heavies in the world.
Yeah, I think there's also another angle there where Orchis knew that they were going to have to murder every motherfucker in this room. And if they were to have murdered the Avengers, it would have been bad PR.
That too.
Yeah.
But also they were potentially powerful enough to stop them.
Oh, they would have been. Yes.
I mean, Wanda alone, right? You know?
Yeah. I mean, and then Rogue leaves too. You know? Rogue leaves too. Right? So there has been so much shit up to this point in this comic book, and it's barely started. This is like 20 pages into the comic at this point. And from there, it just explodes. We get, you know, just like every year, we get the
they pretty much recreate the same type of page we've been seeing the last two iterations of this. We get the new X-Men. We get like this big triumphant, you know, full page spread, and then
I got it, brother.
Yeah.
Nimrod bomb. I don't know if you noticed just to the left of where Nimrod is dying in. Those are Cannonball's legs. All right, yeah. He has no legs.
And yeah, you can see Dazzler here. And that's Frenzy there. I think that's what's left of her. I don't think her head's there anymore.
Oh, man. And then the very next page, Bye-Bye Jubilee. She goes out like a boss. She is survived by her baby son who can turn into a dragon. We don't know who has custody there yet. I'm assuming it's going to be, what's her name? Captain Britain. But
that was, I think right here, this was the actual best these two panels are here, where the best is like, fuck you, machine. And it's like, no need to be rude.
Yeah.
Bam, you're dead.
Yeah, I really like it. It does show Nimrod's as human. All right, Nimrod is like this guy fighting for humanity. As much as he does that, he has literally no humanity at all.
No.
You know what I mean? He is just the most inhuman, not big eye, little eye, terrible construct just ever, dude.
Oh, yeah, he's this monster. I am glad that they gave him like a personality so that it's not just like, target acquired.
Yeah, like a smarter sentinel. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, oh my God, moving on. We're only halfway through this. And then they start just targeting Omega mutants, dude. That's Orchis' real weapon. The thing that gets them over the most is literally leaning into the fact that Xavier's dream it includes humans, you know? So they go in, they take out all of the biggest guns who can actually do some good to save the humans who are at the Hellfire Gala. And they do it with such extreme prejudice. Here come the Sentinels, you know?
Yeah, the Iron Man Sentinels, yeah.
Yeah, the Iron Man Sentinels. But this is a really important deal here, okay? They use MODOK and some sort of sinister clone, whatever sinister this is. I can't keep
That
them
is
apart.
Dr. Stasis.
Yes, except the other one is
that's
Orcus
Sinister
Stasis.
Club.
Yeah.
Orbis Stellaris,
Yes.
Mother Righteous, and Dr. Stasis. And our Mr. Sinister is out of commission.
Yeah, he's one of the last motherfuckers in Krakoa because he buried, 30 feet under the ocean. But I guess what they've been doing here is using MODOK and other forms of technology. They made the drugs that the mutants were sending to humans to heal them, to make their life longer. They put in like a back door where it sort of turns them into like a zombie almost, where they're just very mad and angry.
Yeah, it's kind of like
everybody's ass.
It's like the same concept as, I don't know if it's explicitly like this, but it's the Mad Bomb from like the old Captain America stories.
Right.
Or at least it works like that. I don't know if it's like in universe supposed to be that.
So at the flip of a button, right, Orcus and MODOK can turn the humans against each other, okay? Now this is the mutants' biggest downfall here, dude. I mean, this is what Magneto was fucking talking about forever. This is why this panel is so important. Because Xavier is like, no, you're right. I don't want to kill the humans. Motherfucker, it ain't you killing them. It's MODOK killing them.
But they'd still die, and he knows that the mutants would be blamed,
But who cares if they're all fucking dead? You're still leading the planet. They literally murdered themselves at this point, dude. I don't know.
We can't blame Xavier for wanting to try to avoid a genocide.
Exactly. No. Exactly. I'm not. I'm just saying how this angle to this issue.
Well, knowing what we know at the end of the issue, so circle back to that later.
Yeah, we'll get to that later. Yeah, you're absolutely right. But,
so then, go ahead, Andy. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, but that's Xavier to a T. He doesn't want people to die. He wants people to live. And him having that complete crisis moment where it's like, yeah, someone else is doing it, but Xavier is absolutely right in that moment where, from his point of view, is no, it's a mutant. A mutant's killing people. I'll be blamed for it because I'm the leader of the mutants. In his mind, he's the leader of the mutants. Yeah. This is and he's gonna get blamed for it because he's that pinnacle. He's the one in charge.
And he also just doesn't want the people to die in the first place.
Yeah, he doesn't want people to die in the first place. But he's just like, oh no, I'm the guy in charge. I'm gonna get blamed no matter what. So please stop doing this thing.
Yeah, 100%, man. I like this little angle. They used Horticulture, who was kind of just like on the back burner for so much.
Yeah, they get introduced early on, but
Hickman. So you knew they were going to be very important. But this worked for me, them being able to go back and forth through the portals, them having now control over the portals, but only because of Horticulture. And it feels like maybe Hickman shoehorned them in there a little bit,
They were fun. Even if they were shoehorned in, I enjoyed the hell out of those like evil golden girls.
Yeah, dude. It was so well done. And that's why it carries, because Hickman did write them so well.
Yeah. Hickman probably put him in there for a reason. So
this is the reason.
I give it a pass. I passed them. It's like, okay, but
Man, I don't care if there was a long game for them. I want more Horticulture as much as I can
they
get.
should
They're
really
fun as hell.
Yeah, they should do more Horticulture. All right, so then at one point we think Jean.
Yeah, she's starting to turn the tide, but
gonna save them all using her
fucking Moira
X with a superhero landing, kills Jean Grey again. This is the 8th time I think that Jean Grey has died.
I've lost count at this point.
I've tried to keep count. There's like an argument whether it's 7, 8. Some dude says 9.
Man, I mean, if we're keeping track of like clones and shit like that, it just gets stupid.
Oh, it gets very
if you're counting the clones, then we're way into double digits. So don't even start that argument.
Way into don't
clones
talk about
and
clones.
Time travel and
dude, don't even.
No. It's 8. We're stopping right there. Do not go down the rabbit hole, guys. We're stopping the rabbit hole right now. She's died 8 times. It's fine. Yeah. We're moving on.
But in this issue, just before she dies, she does rally the troops. Okay, everybody's like, "Oh, they got Jean. We're going for it." But then Moira gets her hands on Professor X. Professor X tells them to stop, and they go into a psychic trance and all that shit. But I guess just before Jean Grey loses all of her life. she turns Firestar into the narc that she was rumored to be. Firestar was rumored to be a narc from the last Hellfire Gala.
Well, yeah, she was supposed to be an arc for the Avengers, but Jean throws her Hail Mary here. She embeds Firestar in Orcus. And then when she dies, Firestar is on her own. The only person who knew this was a ploy was Jean.
Yeah. In the mutants. And
Yes.
Firestar. But then
Firestar is the only one left who knows that there was psychic manipulation to fake her being a traitor. Now everyone, including the bad guys, thinks that she is really a traitor.
And that's perfect. This sets up the future of this character in such a cool way. I am expecting so many big things from Firestar, dude, moving forward.
She's going to be the flagship character of this whole entire series.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, she is just amazing. All right, so all the mutants can't go away. Okay, so what's happening is Moira just told Professor X, and this is a great panel, go my X-Men, because this thing is, to me, my X-Men, you know?
Yes.
And he's telling them all, go through the gates, get the hell out of here. We've lost. We're done. And he assumes that all of these gates are going to Mars, to Arakko, right?
Yep.
That's not
happening.
That's what he assumes. Yeah, that's what he assumes. But another angle here, they are introducing this resist, the red triangle protocols. All right. Actually, this was a thing created by Al Ewing in U.S. Avengers. This is a panel from U.S. Avengers where Al Ewing had this red triangle protocol is go. And it was in order to resist a psychic attack.
Mm-hmm.
So I really like that deep cut there.
Yeah.
So another angle to this, I mean, and this is so fucking deep, dude. Mother Righteous, who is like a clone in the guise of Mr. Sinister's ex-old lady, but not a clone of his old lady, a clone of him, takes the Atlantic Island in her lantern. I forgot there was an Atlantic Island. Okay, here's the map of Krakoa. We've been kicking it in the Pacific one all this time. There actually is an Atlantic Krakoa. So we're not sure who was living there, who was doing what there.
Oh, yeah, I don't remember ever hearing anything about Atlantic Krakoa.
Me neither. I mean, it's so deep. It's so deep.
Mother Righteous has grabbed it for something. I don't know.
Yeah, this book has so many deep cuts in it. It's just like,
dude, it does. It does. It's like the culmination of an entire era of
10
X-Men.
years ago.
Yes. Yeah, dude, just wild. All right, so we do get some reactions to Jean's death. The great one from Professor X. We have Cyclops, who got his ass kicked in New York by the new Captain Krakoa. In the ambulance, great panel here, dude. Love this page with the fucking tree house on fire in the background. Oh, that's so well done. It's like fucking poetry. But Wolverine, I mean, oh my goodness.
It's hard to get one over on Wolves.
I mean, as good as Wolverine was this week, him dealing with Beast and all that shit, I would have loved to have seen him dealing with Jean dying again. I love seeing Wolverine suffer, and he suffers no better than when his old lady is dead, when someone he loves passes away.
Yeah.
All right, so here's the resistors, okay? We get a group of resistors who include, I mean, just some of the top-notch, some of the best, big A-listing, you know, mutants and Kingpin for some reason. But immediately, a group of resistors, they're teleported away, but not before Lords, who is their teleporter, goes out freaking, what was the elf, the Dobby in Harry Potter, goes out Harry Potter style here. I love that. Emma wants to immediately go on the offensive. The gates are closed. She goes out a la Kate Pryde from, like, you know, issue 1 of the new X-Men of this shit. Just as Charles is about to get owned by Moira, Rogue comes out. Pepe Larraz, Jesus, man, you don't deserve to be able to draw that good. And then all dead, right? This is the thing. All of the mutants that Charles thought he was sending to safety are just gone. He can't find them, and he assumes that they are dead. There is an epilogue where Shadowcat now, according to X-Men number 25, can now go through the gates, even though Orcus used horticulture powers to, you know, change them however she did her thing.
Yeah, so this leads into her getting her ninja garb, and I am assuming she's going to be like she's the only mutant now who can use the gates, and so she's going to be like be their wet works person,
Dude, that sounds like such a good time. And then dude, this all leads to Fall of X. Holy shit, dude! I was on the edge of my seat every damn page. This shit was amazing. I had to
stop reading a few times. This was
it hits
like
you. It hits
brutal.
You
yeah, especially and the biggest hit was at the end where like Professor X, we realized got used to kill everyone essentially. He got manipulated into doing a genocide, or at least it seems that way. They do have outs here.
Those folks are good.
They could just be fucking somewhere that Professor X can't find them. So
here's my thing: there are Mr. Sinisters involved with Orcus's plan. Mr. Sinister does not work well with others unless he is trying to get what he wants. What could he want more than his own island of mutants or whatever the hell he
exactly?
I don't know.
You're exactly right, Comer.
But for the time being, though, we're down to like what did they say? 100 mutants are still.
I don't even know if they gave a number, dude.
We saw Wolverine is still out there. We saw that Cyclops is down but not out. We do know that the 5 is gone. They were pushed through a portal by Exodus, and so their resurrection card is off the table.
Yeah,
for now at least.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't even know where else to go with this. There are so many things. I mean. We can't guess, okay? We know where this is going. Jean Grey will be back. She has a book coming out.
Yeah, I was about to say they have announced like it's on the back of every Marvel comic just about that like they're doing Jean Grey #1 coming out.
But
soon.
She's the Phoenix. Of course
she is the Phoenix.
Back.
I mean,
of course she's coming back.
When it comes to Jean, you can always work that angle where like no matter how dead she is, the Phoenix can just bring her back.
Yeah. How about how old this Fall of X like teaser is? But we were not prepared. This did not prepare us like at all. How brutal this shit was gonna be.
Like it does everything you want a comic like this to do. It makes you feel devastated for the heroes. It makes you want to see these smug fucking cunt villains get their taste slapped out of their mouth.
Yes, dude.
And by the end of this, they will eat crow. They'll get the shit.
It'll be nice when we finally get to their comeuppance at some point.
It's gonna take a little bit, but they got a lot of like this was one of the most devastating comic books I read.
Oh my god!
It's just like everything was just like, hey, Nimrod's here, and he just like fucks everybody over, and it's like. And
coincidentally, the election this time around, at first, I guess that was the first clue that something was weird because like everyone who was in the election was on the X-Men. I wonder now if we were voting on who the survivor was going to be.
Yeah, Juggernaut does get carried out by Nimrod at some point. You don't know if he's dead, but
he's probably not dead.
Yeah. But man, this with Jews just
especially
this was this was the point where I was like, oh shit, everybody gonna die. They're murdering Jubilee. Nobody is safe. Nobody is safe.
I mean, since my first introduction to Jubilee was the '94 X-Men,
as it was for a lot of people,
for a lot of people. Also, it's like they just killed off one of the best characters in the series,
right?
Like, oh, that means everybody's going to die now. It was like you got that. Oh, a rock falls, and now everybody.
You could dead. Like make a top 5, like a top 10 list on what was the most brutal death in this issue.
Oh, dude, you could. You could.
Iceman getting melted is the first one that jumps into my head.
Right.
Like, Iceman, man. No, you're a puddle of water now.
Yeah, but he's coming back too. He's dead, but he's got a book coming out.
Sure. I mean. What I assume is going to eventually happen is we're going to get like Rise of X, and that's when like the tide starts to turn after Fall of X. So the X-Men and the mutants will probably be okay in the end, but I don't know if Krakoa will be.
Is Magneto still dead?
Magneto is still dead, as far as I'm aware.
Oh my god! If he'd been there, things would have worked out different.
He could have done something. I mean, that was another. And Storm is off doing her stinking Iraqi Civil War shit. So
fucking Genesis, just leave Mars alone, Genesis.
Yeah, a lot of powerful mutants were kind of already off the board, so Orcus definitely knew they had an opportunity here,
I think the mutant who has the biggest opportunity right now is Apocalypse. This is exactly what he was talking about. The hubris of the mutants to think that mutants would be, or that humans would be humane is right on goal here. And his old lady digs into him now, bickers to him about that now. Genesis tells him, no, you're wrong. And look, they were both right, dude. They were both right.
Well, that's why Uncanny Avengers should be a really good thing here, because that's the good humans, stepping up to try to help, like it's Rogue teaming up with Steve and I guess Deadpool technically is a human, but
oh, dude, Deadpool was amazing in the last issue of Wolverine. But
that was really fun.
This is Beast's fault. It was Beast's
he
job
definitely
to stop this shit from happening. He was the leader of the CIA. He has failed. This is Beast's fault, dude.
That's another thing that I think would be fun to see explored. Like, Beast did get away from Wolverine. Beast Prime did.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any of his shit anymore, but he himself is still alive. So it'll be interesting to see, right, that in his fucking arrogance, he thought that he was
flip it.
Yeah, and he thought he had it all figured out, and they just walked right underneath his nose and shat all over everything he was supposed to be protecting.
Yeah, especially since Beast lately was coming off as, I am the smartest person in the room. Go fuck yourself. Someone
exactly.
Exactly,
dude.
I am smarter than you.
Like, he keeps telling himself, yes, I'm a monster, but I'm getting things done. No, you're not.
You're not. Look,
you're not even good at. You're not even doing a good job protecting mutants. You're doing all this, you're being such a fucking monster, effectively for nothing.
For nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
This would be a good come up but story if all of a sudden this came out like, no, we did this underneath Beast's nose after Beast was being a total dick to everybody. I'd be like, yay.
Right.
Yeah.
Lastly, this is like the official end of like the Hickman era. They're still going to lean into some of the things that have happened, just like they did with House of M, just like they did with Days of Future Past. It's always going to be part of X-Men and mutant history. But this is like, Hickman's run there was different. He was the head of X, the first head of X. And this is like the end of everything that he started. And I think we will be revisiting this for at least the next 5 years to come in the main universe.
Yeah.
But also, for years to come, we are going to get stories that revisit the Krakoan era. And, man, just bravo, well done. I had a great time with everything that happened in this, dude.
For a swan song, this is the ultimate swan song right now.
Dude.
This is a nice note to go out on. The Fall of X is going to be the thing that we will be talking about for the next 5, 10 plus years. It'll get revisited time and time again. You're absolutely right. This is going to be something that'll be analyzed years down the road.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, dude, people are going to be referencing this era for forever. And it's just, it has been really, really fun to take part in it. So. Last words, anybody on the Hellfire Gala? Man, what a shitty party.
I'd rather go to the Red Wedding at this point.
Yeah, right. It was Red Wedding-esque, dude.
Oh, yeah, we didn't even talk about how, Stasis ended up killing all the humans in attendance anyway, even after Professor X was trying to negotiate for him.
Well, I said that earlier, like they wanted to get all the Avengers.
Oh, they did, and then they were gonna. That's true. You did say we're going and we're going to take out every human here, but so all the humans all across the earth are still hostages here, but Professor X was specifically okay, now let these people go, and then oh hey, a press release was out. They said all the humans died. It's I guess we gotta now.
Sorry, we gotta get the PR Stasis. Right.
Stasis might be the worst Sinister now. There's lots of shitty Sinisters, but
we don't know about Orba Stellaris as much as I'd like to, but. He's just hanging out in the cut. He ain't done shit. He just hung out. He ain't done nothing. He just been the I don't know what card's left.
He is
Spade.
He is Spades. Yes, he is Spades. Stasis is clubs, and Mother Righteous is hearts.
Yeah. Awesome. So yes, bravo, Marvel. You've delivered what is potentially the best book I've read all year. It was a brilliant book. So that was our number 1 this week, y'all. Thank you for hanging out. We appreciate it. We went way over talking about this book. I knew we were gonna. If you like what we're talking about, talk about what the comic book bullies are talking about. Check them out on these channels and others. You can find all those channels on outrightgeekery.com. I know they are going to talk about this issue of the Hellfire Gala. Leroy was actually posting about it page by page. He's like, oh, this looks like a really cool X-Men team. I can't wait to read them. And he's like, oh, shit, I just read the next page. My bad. But anyway, check them out. Find them. they're going to go deep onto Twisted Metal, the new Paramount series, or Peacock, pardon me, Peacock series as well. If you want links, again, to what they got going on, what we got going on, outrightgeekery.com. All the socials, all the videos, all the fun stuff, including the group where Andy has been 1 year hanging out. Wrestling show coming soon. You heard it here first. Or second. You heard it here second.
Unless you sat through and watched me review all 4 Wishmaster movies.
Yeah, go back and find that's really funny. My favorite is Wishmaster 4, The Rise of Skywalker.
Not Wishmaster 2, Electric Boogaloo?
Yeah. Anyway, come back tomorrow, too. We're going to look at new preview comics coming out. Again, thanks for hanging out, everybody. We really appreciate it. But most of all, thanks to these guys for hanging out with this guy.
Hell yeah.
We are going to do it again next time.
Same geek time, same geek channel.
Oh, my goodness. I'm out of breath. I knew I would be. That damn X-Men. They've done this to people times. House of M, I was beside myself into House of M. What's that series, House of M?